Before I get started on this video, I would like to point out this video was heavily inspired by a video made by a fellow DBD content creator who unironically shares a similar name to me, that being a twins main by the name of Lynxi, who you can catch on Twitch. She streams 5 days a week, so you can catch her pretty often. Links to her video and her Twitch will be in the description and the pinned comment below. And last but not least, do keep in mind, reading off a script is not my forte, so I may end up rambling or in some words, might be slurred, so please bear with me. If you've watched one of my videos, you already know me, but if you haven't, then let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is LynxRecruit, or Lynx for short, and I play both Demogorgon and the Trickster. But I mostly play Trickster nowadays, since I'm comfortable with him. But I've had questions from my friends and multiple people in different Discords, specifically being, why the hell do I play this funky little twink? Well, just to warn you, it's gonna get a little lengthy. As to when I started playing Trickster and Dead by Daylight as a whole, I might as well explain that first. In terms of hours, I've sunk roughly 1,000 hours into Trickster. I started playing Trickster pretty much non-stop when the All Kill chapter, aka version 4.6.0, came out, and he was one of the first killers I had ever prestiged to prestige free before. Additionally, this was before the prestige overhaul even came out. So as a result, I grew a soft spot for the laughing gas-induced psychopath. I had been playing Dead by Daylight similarly enough to around the same time as Lynxi, back in June of 2018 when Clown released. However, I did have the game in my library around Doctor's release, which was around, I believe, May 2017, but was unable to play it due to bad hardware. Or was it behavior shit optimization? Either way, I generally played Killer and Survivor equally until I found my footing with Demogorgon back in September of 2019, which is when the Stranger Things chapter came out. He had officially became my first and official main in Dead by Daylight. I really enjoyed the learning curve with him and trying to figure out how to take advantage of his shred. Unfortunately though, since he required setup time, mostly being his portals, I started to lane off of him sometime around early February of 2021. When I started streaming due to my internet being better, I wasn't playing Demogorgon a lot and I was playing a variety of killers. That was until the PTB for version 4.6.0 came out and the Trickster was revealed. I'll be genuinely honest, at first I didn't like his design one bit and I despised his existence, going as far to be the first PTB I actually skipped. But when Trickster released on the 30th of March, I bit the bullet and decided to give him a go. I'll be genuinely honest, I wasn't impressed with his kit and his recoil was obnoxious at the time of his launch, which led to me making a video, I shit you not, a day after his release, after pretty much playing him every day, suggesting ways of which he could have been buffed. As it was community knowledge, despite how strong his anti-loot was in appearance, he was deceptively weak on a lot of maps due to how slow he moved when throwing his knives, which, speaking of, surprisingly, the video I made 2 suggestions regarding buffs for him that actually got through to the mid-chapter patch buffs, which I don't think I influenced, but it was coincidental enough. After playing Trickster going on nearly 3 years, as March is fast approaching, I've enjoyed playing this twink more than I should, even when he was at his weakest state. Because I found myself wanting to experiment and see what add-ons worked best, and most of all, what I could do to further improve his kit. I eventually decided Trickster would become my second main, but if I ever found myself getting bored of Demogorgon, he would become my only main. As to why I enjoy playing the Trickster, let's get into that part and I'll tell you all about it. Although the Trickster has a pretty strong hatred from the wider spectrum of the community due to his obnoxiously strong anti-loop, if the Trickster has good aim and has patience, I couldn't help but enjoy how unsatisfying his power was. Hearing the tinks of his knives as they build up to eventually hitting max laceration and injuring a survivor. I would even find myself racing to see how fast I could down a survivor at the beginning of the game. It got to a point I would even start to be creative how I used his knives. For example, if a survivor were to use the old dead hard, most Tricksters would normally just keep holding M1 because it didn't matter. I, on the other hand, adopted throwing a knife at their feet to trick them, mostly to save me knives and also prevent wasting time waiting for the next throw, if I lacked throw add-ons, that is. Alongside that, the audio feedback you receive from Trickster via his laughs and so much more just added to the satisfaction with him. The more I played, the more accurate I got, and surprisingly, the compliments from a lot of players started rolling in. I even have survivors who were quote-unquote comp level praising what I did. Albeit, I play the game casually, so I didn't particularly care much about how comp players saw me and decided to praise it, but it kept me dedicated to playing him, albeit there are better tricksters out there. I took time to realize that I have the 73rd highest achieved lacerations on Trickster, that being 2,846 maximum lacerations. But there are people with higher numbers and more time to play games. For example, LittleRuugard, who is the #1 trickster player with almost 41,969 lacerations. Nice. Which, might I add, is absolutely insane. I'll leave a link to their stream so you can see them play. They're bonkers. But back to the point, Trickster deep down has his issues to this day. One of them obviously being that while he is strong in chase, he's terrible at everything else. Gen control and map control, holy shit, it's painful. Despite all that, his knives, the flexibility of his kit, and his add-ons being surprisingly diverse, albeit some I fucking despise, I'll be the only Trickster main that will die on this hill saying that the Death Throws compilation is an absolute waste of an add-on slot and nobody will convince me to ever use it. His add-ons, unlike some killers, can be highly flexible, though add-ons that are specifically tied to main event aren't exactly useful or highly required, as they are incredibly underwhelming and more commonly than not, you'll get main event during chases in which the survivor is already injured. Add-ons like the Trick Blades, the Diamond Cufflinks, the Fizz Spin Soda, and many more to name just add and enhance my experience and enjoyment with the Trickster. I continue to enjoy him and he never seems to get dull because I get to experiment and learn new things about the Trickster to this day. He's fun and I'll never get old of what he can do. Trickster at the end of the day is a very divisive killer. Some hate him, some love him. I don't love him because of the K-pop or stuff like that. I like him solely because I found his power rewarding and satisfying at the same time. I can find myself not feeling stressed even when I'm getting my ass royally kicked because I still feel rewarded at the end of the day. I try not to camp when I play him, but if I see someone running to the hook after being unable to find someone, I just bite the bullet. But that's mostly why I play Trickster. It's not exactly a big thriller 133 page document about him. It's short, sweet, then getting right to the point. I hope you all enjoyed this, because I enjoyed it, as it's nice to log where I've started versus where I am now and seeing my growth and how my preferences in DBD have changed. Nonetheless, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like or dislike, I don't mind either or. I've been LynxRecruit, and I'll see you all in the fog.